Do you remember when I made that video talking about the five worst Ninjago plot twists in my opinion? The twists that made no sense at all, were easily predictable, wasted your time, and maybe just made you hate a character a lot more than they originally thought. Well, let's do the complete opposite. I am Luke the Ninjroid, and today we are going to count down my top five best plot twists of Ninjago. Even though Skybound is my least favorite installment out of all Ninjago installments, it definitely had some highs, and this was definitely one of them. In case you don't know, Jay gets a letter from somewhere. I don't know. The mailman just delivers it to him, I guess. And the letter informs him that his father has passed away, and therefore he inherited lots and lots of money. That sounds like a good thing, right? Well, not exactly, because Jay assumes that the father the letter is talking about is what he thought was his real father, Ed. And then Ed and Edna tell him the true story his early his early childhood, and that he was actually an adopted baby. Which means that Ed and Edna adopted him. So Ed and Edna are not actually his birth parents, but rather his adoptive ones. And they've been treated like one of their own ever since. And, well, and then it's revealed that his birth father is actually um, the character from Starfarer magazine, Fritz Donegan, and that his real name is Jay Gordon, and his birth father's name is Cliff Gordon. And, well, we still don't know why Cliff Gordon decided, or Liber Gordon. Liber is the elemental master of lightning, the one who appeared in the Elemental Alliance final battle in the Hands of Time finale. That woman who says that she actually has a honeymoon with an actor. That girl right there. I don't know what happened between them, but according to Tommy Andreessen, Cliff Gordon is a womanizer. So perhaps he was in love with multiple women? That's a very adult subject for Ninjago, if you ask me, considering there's quite a lot of men and women that do that in real life. And I'm glad Ninjago kind of touched on this little subject, even if it was a little sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And this twist did shock me, because even though I did not like Skybound as a season, I think that this twist was definitely one of the things that made me think that Skybound had some potential within it. A lot of you are likely going to be shocked at the placement of this popular twist. I feel like a big reason why this twist is popular is because of the character who the twist is about. Of course, it's about Harumi, popular fan favorite villain, even though I don't really care about her character at all. But this was the one moment where I actually started to actually somewhat care about her character, because she had me fooled. She fooled me. If you guys don't know what happens in this twist, basically, there was a person called the Quiet One, and pretty much there was a whole mystery about it. Like, who is it? Who is this Quiet One that we speak of? Who is that? Well, in my opinion, I thought it was Mr. E, because I took the Quiet One title literally, like the Quiet One as in the one who doesn't speak. It made sense, but and I was kind of right with the whole one that does not speak thing, but I had my eyes on the wrong target, and as it ends up, it turned out to be Harumi, the royal princess, who murdered her own family just to get revenge. Murdered her royal family just to get revenge on the ninja who couldn't save the lives of her real family. I think she needs to be taught. I think Jay needs to teach her a lesson about who that real families don't exist. Just saying. And while I don't really appreciate Harumi's character all that much compared to a lot of other people, this moment definitely was one of her highs, as it truly showed her that even she can manipulate people, even people who do, even people like me who she can outsmart people like me. So she got me. Despite the recency of this one, I think it definitely deserves a placement on this list. If you guys don't know what this twist is, from the most recent installment of Ninjago, Seabound, the main villain of the season, Prince Kalmar, has quite an argument with his father, King Trimar. And then, I think pretty much Trimar says that I am, he says that you are my son and I am the king, or something along those lines. I can't remember the exact line. And then I remember Kalmar saying these words: the first thing I cannot change, but the second. And then he launches a blast at King Trimar's chest, which is basically like the heart. It looked like it was a heart shot to the heart, and Trimar falls to the ground. And later in the episode, he dies. He straight up dies. I think this is the first on-screen death the first on-screen murder that we've actually seen in this series. Murder for kids. And I can't believe that no villain prior to him has done that. Now, you might be thinking, well, what about Emperor Garmadon? Didn't he kill Mistake? You're right. However, that death was off-screen, so it does not count. So, Kalmar doing something just so... I can't even describe how good this twist is. Because I didn't see it coming. Nobody really saw it coming. And the fact that Trimar dies from it just really added to the overall twist. The acting in this is also really, really top-notch acting by, what were those names? Ron Howard, Cole Howard, and Giles Panton, the voice actors for Trimar, Benthumar, and Kalmar, respectively. I think that was actually the right order, by the way. But anyways, especially with the final scene with Bentho and Trimar, basically Trimar tells Bentho that the ninja were not the ones who struck him, but rather it was Kalmar. And Bentho was like, no, Kalmar couldn't have done this. He couldn't have. But then the only person who loved him, the only person that gave him love, dies in front of him. Right now, before saying I love you to him and accepting and has his son despite not being born to him. And this was the catalyst to Bentho's character. And I love Benthomar as a side character. I really want to see him again. But Wild Brain Ninjago really does not like to bring back their side characters. They only done that once. And that was not even in a super pivotal role. And that was Vanya in Seabound. With the whole amulet thing. But yeah, this shocking scene that really came out of nowhere, I just was left speechless at seeing basically our first on-screen murder in Ninjago. Or at least, I think it's the first one. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Yet, another shocking scene making it onto the list is, well, the scene that basically gave me nightmares. Which is, Zane's sacrifice. I mean, who saw this coming? If you say you saw this coming, you are a liar. You are a liar. I mean, the only way you could have, maybe, is through the episode description. Which, I actually saw the episode description, but it didn't explicitly say who was going to die. Or make the ultimate sacrifice, as the episode description said. I personally did not have a clue. I did not have a clue. Even with that. And when I saw Zane, I was just like, uh-oh. And then when I saw him not letting go, I was like, my little 11-year-old mind was like, oh no, is he gonna die? Is he gonna die? Is he gonna die? And then when the famous music hit, I swear to God, I keep hearing this music everywhere I go. Almost every Ninjago video I watch nowadays has that music somewhere, and I don't know if I should. I don't know if I can do the actual music, but I'll remember the first few notes. Dun 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 dun. I didn't do it on pitch perfectly. I can't help that. But I swear to God, that music follows me wherever I go, and it gives me bad trauma every single time. It's the music that made boys cry. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. That scene made pretty much 80% of the audience watching at the time cry their eyeballs out. Because Zay was that one ninja that you never disliked, if I'm going to be honest. You may have had him as your least favorite at the time, but it was not like you hated the hell out of him or anything. You were just like, he was just okay. But this gave him so much character depth. It's criminal how he's basically been ignored ever since. And while the actual death may not have lasted that long, it definitely left a good impact. And personally, I didn't think he actually came back at first when I first watched it, because I was so damn distraught that I just wasn't thinking properly. And I believe that is the magic of that scene. Because we were so young, because we were so distraught, we weren't thinking straight. We weren't sure if he was going to come back. That's why I think when, at the end of the invitation episode, when we saw Zane again, everyone that cried at Zane's death squealed like a little freaking child on candy in a candy store. And it was just amazing. Those times were the greatest to be a Ninjago fan. When it can make you sad, but it can also make you happy at the same time. This was an easy number one. If I'm going to be truly honest, this was the birth of the Ninjago plot twist. Now, technically it wasn't the first one, since Nia as Samurai X came right before that one. But I think that twist definitely got overshadowed by this one, since this one had a lot more meaning and hit a lot more. And let's be real honest here. Let's be entirely honest here. Without this twist, the twist that I mentioned in this video would not exist without this one. This was the birth of every single twist that we've ever seen in the show. This twist changed everything. And when I say everything, I meant everything. I actually have a video in production right now as I speak, talking about why I think TikTok is the most important episode of the series. And the main point I talk about is this twist. Because back then, we weren't sure if we weren't going to like Ninjago. Like, sure, it was awesome, it was cool, the action scenes were good, but it wasn't, like, special, you know? That is, until this twist. This twist proved that Ninjago could actually tell a story. That Ninjago actually had depth to it. That, in a sense, it wasn't just a cash grab. And that I feel like maybe without this twist, maybe Ninjago would not be as popular as it is right now. It would not have lasted a decade without good things like this twist. And this twist honestly shocked everybody because it was so unpredictable. Now some people have complained about how the twist is incredibly overrated. Like, how could Zane have not known he was a robot? Did you not watch the episode? His memory switch was turned off. Now, what about the other ninja or anybody else? Who in the right mind would assume that someone they know is a robot? You'd have to be a crazy person to assume that. I mean, it's not like one of them is going to be invading Zane's privacy to see that, because otherwise they'd be creepy. So, yeah, the complaints against this twist are very dumb, in my opinion. Just saying. But, yeah. That's all I could say. What do you guys think about this list? And what are you guys' favorite plot twist of the series? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and click on the notification button to see every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. Bye bye.